All right, so this is our setup. We have a drop cloth down here on the trailer floor because I don't like my trailer to be a mess. So I put this drop cloth down. Have a little chair here. I'll show you what that's for later, other than just taking a nap and hanging out and waiting for stuff to dry. But we have 3 buckets. All you need is 3 buckets. If you have 3 clean, empty buckets, you're gonna be all set. 1 bucket is for mixing. Try to use the same one. That's what I do. I use the same bucket for the mixing because it'll get a little beat up on the edges. So I use 1 bucket for mixing. I have 1 bucket that's going to be for clean water that we use only to add to the mix, which I'll show you that. And then we have a 3rd bucket that we fill right about halfway. So if you look inside the bucket, you'll be able to see through the lettering. And I fill the water right about to this red line or a little bit below. And that's our washout bucket. And this is what we wash all our tools out all day. And at the end of the day, we clean this out and start again with another half bucket of clean out water. And all of our buckets of water and everything stays right here inside the trailer. Okay, so when it comes to your hot mud, you have a lot of different options. And the 2 products that we use mostly, only because of the setting time, is I use a lot of this Quick Set 5. And the Quick Set 5 sets really fast, but because I'm used to plastering, I use it almost all the time. For the sake of this video, slowing me down a little bit, I'm not able to go as fast. I'm gonna use the Hot Mud 20 because we have a lot of different patches to do and I wanna be able to take some time and show you exactly how to use these products. So let's get into it now. I'm gonna show you how to mix it. Okay, so open your bag and open the top corner of the bag. All right, keep things nice and neat. And now all you're gonna need is, you need an empty bucket. You have a full, clean bucket of water. And what I use is the old, the windshield washer containers. And what I do is I just cut those off. We use these a lot in New England for the plaster. And we literally, we make them a little bit bigger and we scoop the mixed plaster out of the barrel onto the guy's hawks. But for this, I'm just using this to add the water. It's way easier and you can be more accurate than picking up a bucket and trying to dump it. Sometimes you dump a little too much water, or and with this product, a little bit of water goes a long way. So what you want to get yourself is, you want to get yourself a margin trowel. And you could buy these at Lowe's or Home Depot. It's usually in the masonry department. You get yourself a margin trowel. And so what I'll do is, I'm just going to assume that I'm just doing the pre-fill phase now, which is part of the prep. And I'm going to mix up a little bit of mud and I'm going to go through and fill any of the blowouts, any of the big gaps that are in the board, so it can get in there and get nice and hard. So what you do is you just take your bag and you just dump a little bit in the bottom of the bucket. You just kind of, estimate how much you're going to need, and you usually don't need much. And so after I dump it over the bucket like that, what I do is I hold it back and I just tap the end with the margin trowel and then stand it up straight, and there's no mess. All right, and then what I do is dump a little bit of water in the bucket, and what you want to do is you just want to use a little bit at a time. And as you add the water, you get the consistency that you want. So what we're doing with this step is we are pre-filling any of the big blowouts. So we don't want the mud too loose, because if you make your mud too loose, then everything's just gonna sag. Now I have to tell you, I was watching a video and I saw this guy mixing this hot mud, and he did it on his hawk and he called it the volcano. I don't have words. All I can say is this. Come on, man. Be professional. Be neat. Be clean. Do it in an empty bucket. You're going to have no mess all over the customer's floor. And so what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that I have all of the product at least wet. And then I'll add just a little bit of water to make it the consistency that I want. And you just use the margin trowel and you mix it around. Now, if I was doing a real big project and it was new and I was able to just kind of, run with it, so to speak. When you're doing patches, you know, you all know you're not running with it. Then what I would do is I would use either the Quick Set 20, or if it's a big enough project, you can use the Quick Set 45 or Quick Set 90, all right? And you mix that with a drill and a paddle. But I'm only mixing small amounts because I know it's gonna set fast. I want it to, and I want it to be able to pre-fill any of the blowouts and stuff that I have. So you just kind of mix it around. And you know what? You're not gonna get every single lump out of the mix doing it with the modern trowel, but it doesn't matter because you're gonna press this mud out so tight on your first coat that whatever little bumps are in the mud is gonna mix itself as you're doing it. And so here's a pro tip for you. Remember this, you can always add more mud, but it's very difficult to remove mud. So as we're doing this process of all the different coats, you're gonna see that there is no sanding in between coats. You should do 0 sanding in between all your coats. If you're sanding between coats, is because you put it on way too thick. And if every seam, every screw head, every nail, doesn't matter what you're coating, it's gonna take a minimum of 3 coats. Minimum of 3 coats. There are some patches that might require a 4th coat. It doesn't matter. The main goal is to get that patch or get whatever you're doing to be absolutely perfect at the end of the day. And if you have to sand between every coat, you're just going to create so much dust in the customer's home that it's just not going to be good. So you can always add a 4th coat if needed, but I'm going to show you how to do all these patches and everything with only 3. So you ready to go?